All right, we are back. Ended up taking a short break there for a minute, but here we are. So it's interesting because this assault rifle, I like their little symbols down at the bottom there. It looks like it's probably deadly. Um, can be used from a vehicle, maybe close to mid-range weapon, or it's effective against vehicles. It looks like it's not effective against BTs, so I'm guessing it's effective. I don't know if it's just effective against people and vehicles, or if that's supposed to mean it's deadly. And what's that? Okay, an automatic rifle suitable for close range and mid-range engagement, armed with MP bullets, effective against any target. The rifle also comes equipped with a light and has two modes of fire: semi-auto and full auto. What the fuck is MP bullets? Maser gun. Isn't that like a electrocutes close range? Yeah, okay. I like the sound of that more. I don't really like killing people, you know. I'm trying to not be killing people. A handgun that electrocutes close range targets. The trigger must be held down to build up an electric charge before firing. It produces no noise while firing, making it well suited for covert operations where silent takedowns are a necessity. It can be stored in the handgun holster. I like that. The blood bag, I picked that up myself, I think. This is just my cargo. Yeah, okay. How do I get out of here? Close. Multi-window. Select. Oh, am I supposed to be deciding where this stuff goes? Handgun holster. Yeah, put that there. Ladder. Put that on my seat. You know I like to put my ladders on my seat. Um, blood bag. So, what's the deal with Lou? Um, attached to seat. Yeah, there's still only 4 spots to hold stuff, so it's not like I can just attach an item to my chest. If Lou's not going to be around, do I get a new BB or something? The blood bag is going on my backpack. Utility pouch. Oh yeah, it's going in the utility pouch. That's what I like to see. The assault rifle, I guess, is going on my back. Or on my tool rack. I mean, Kyle Network Gateway. I guess that's going on my
Return
back.
to the menu when everything looks good to go.
Yeah, everything looks good to go. Where do I go to return to the menu? Do I just, like, hold X? No. No, this is not a hold X. Where's my return to menu button? Oh, my boots. Cargo capacity. 1 out of 4 for the utility pouch. It's interesting. Yeah, I'm good to go. How do I get back? Abracadabra. L3. Canteen. What did I say? Corpus.
Finally, Before heading out, make sure to plot your delivery route. Return to the map.
What's corpus? The corpus. In the corpus, you can review the story so far, examine terminology, check the controls, and browse gameplay tips. The corpus is divided into various tabs. Use L1 and R1 to cycle between them. Story. View the story so far and Sam's orders to date. Databank. View a glossary of in-game tips, terms, tips and controls. Browse gameplay tips and view game controls. Okay, bringing the research lab. This is just... Oh, the story so far. So this is where it started. After connecting America, Sam and Lou leave the UCA in an attempt to evade the UCA's attention. They decide to live in hiding on the border of the former Mexico, where Sam works at a freelance border. Having completed an order outside of the chiral network, it is time for Sam and Lou to return home. Okay, so that's how I was heading home from making a delivery as a freelance border. And now, that was the off-grid, bringing the research lab online. Having rebuilt the UCA, Sam and Lou are living in a quiet and reclusive life close to the Mexican border. One day, Sam's old friend Fragile pays a visit and asks Sam to connect Mexico to the chiral network by trekking out to a research lab where Deadman is waiting for him. Honestly, I'm kind of excited to go see Deadman. I'm not gonna lie about that. But you know, if this all gets me back into the UCA, and you know, I'm more concerned about Lou right now. That's my baby. What's this order details? Deliver the chiral network gateway to C1. Death Stranding has destroyed the Mexican state. Void outs, huge explosions triggered by BTs coming into contact with living humans have shattered the landscape and broken society. People live in fear of venturing outside and have grown isolated and distrustful. Fragile has asked Sam to extend the chiral network to a research lab in southern Mexico. To do so, Sam must complete several orders at facilities along the way, expanding the network step by step. Your first destination is Ciudad Nudo del Norte. I probably butchered that. C1. A city where corpse disposal has become an acute problem. If nothing is done, there is a significant risk of a void out engulfing the city and its people. I'm surprised that hasn't happened already, to be honest. The chiral network should provide the technology they need to curb this issue. To get connected, C1 will need a chiral network gateway, a device that can expand the network beyond the borders of the UCA through means of bilateral data validation. Interesting. Okay. I gotta read that again. The chiral network should provide the technology they need to curb this issue. To get connected, C1 will need a chiral network gateway, a device that can expand the network beyond the borders of the UCA through means of bilateral data validation. Deliver the chiral network gateway to C1 to save the city from a looming void out. So this is like, I'm curious if people are going to be like, you guys aren't trying to take over the world, right? Like, the United States isn't trying to be... Oh my god. Databank. Does it say... See, why couldn't they have this description in the first one? A BT or beached things is a dead person that has crossed over their world and become stranded in ours. I was trying to fucking figure that out the whole game in Death Stranding 1. And I imagine that's why... I'm sure they got enough complaints about it that's why that they're like, okay, we gotta clear things up here. Since the Death Stranding, a human's death has been understood as the separation of their ka, the soul, from their ha, the body. If corpses are not disposed of in a timely manner, generally within 48 hours, though individual circumstances vary, the process of necrosis begins. Incinerating a corpse will send the person's soul to the world of the dead. In the case of necrosis, however, the soul will mistakenly think it still has a place in this world, and will attempt to return to a body that no longer exists. The dead person is therefore stranded without a place to go, hence the term Death Stranding. Hallelujah! My questions have been answered. What the fuck? Why couldn't they put that in the first one? Bandits. A hostile group that is active in the former Mexico. They are aware of the risk posed by voidouts and never use lethal weapons. Bandits are significantly similar to the mules who operate in the UCA, but are fundamentally different. Mules are afflicted with drone syndrome. Their only goal is to make more and more deliveries, and they are particularly attached to their own cargo. The bandits' top priority, on the other hand, is survival. As such, they have been known to steal other people's cargo, making them an irritating presence for boarders. Ring terminal. Oh, okay. A data terminal in the shape of a ring. It records all manner of useful data, including the wearer's vital signs. It is also used as a communication device. A connection to APAS 4000 allows the ring terminal to support SAM's activities in a variety of ways, such as providing him with maps as well as information on his orders and cargo. The database you are currently pursuing is another of the ring terminal's features. It's strange because it used to be the cufflinks acted kind of as the same thing. And it's strange that Die Hardman ended up like stepping down as president, I guess, within the first, whatever months, less than 11 months, because this is 11 months after the fact, and I thought that he was kind of pronounced as president at the time. And then this APAS 4000, is that the organization? Is that, who, hold on, I actually gotta go up here. Prior to the Death Stranding, Die Hardman was a Special Forces soldier in the U.S. Army, serving under Captain Cliff Unger. He was given his nickname on account of his ability to survive any situation. After the USA was destroyed, Die Hardman became the commander of Bridges and dedicated his life to rebuilding America alongside President Bridges Strand. Following Bridges' death, Die Hardman supported Sam on his missions to connect North America to the Chiral Network, and once the UCA was established, became its first president. He has since stepped down, and his current whereabouts are unknown. Interesting. Dead Man. As a member of Bridge... I don't want to read all this, but there's certain things here that I'm actually curious about. Which I am reading. As a member of Bridges, Dead Man decided BB's... Whoa. As a member of Bridges, Deadman studied BBs and supported Sam on his mission to establish the UCA. Deadman initially told Sam that BBs are little more than pieces of fieldware and ordered him to dispose of BB-28. However, after helping the BB recover from autotoxemia, he began to empathize with it and eventually started referring to BB-28 as Lou, just like Sam. Prior to joining Bridges, Deadman was a coroner and would have to dismember corpses. He was born from an artificial womb and was given organs harvested from dead people to make up for the ones he was lacking. As such, he is a mixture of the living and the dead and does not have a beach of his own. This is a source of great distress for him, as Dead Man himself has confided to Sam. Okay, yeah, I mean, that's not... Porters, I guess I'll read this one. Porters deliver cargo to cities and other human settlements that have been left isolated by the Death Stranding. Porters have a hard life, with chiral clouds making the use of drones and aircraft impossible. All deliveries must be made over land, where timefall and BTs pose a constant threat. It is little wonder what they are considered to be that they're considered to be heroes for the work they do. Some porters work for bridges or other private organizations, while others are effectively freelance operators. The effects of chiral contamination have led to some porters becoming addicted to delivering cargo. The effects of chiral contamination have led to some porters becoming addicted to delivering cargo. That's crazy. This is known as drone syndrome and has been observed in mules who operate in the UCA. Did they? I don't think they talked about that too much. Like, this drone syndrome thing. I don't think that... I mean, it sounded like they were kind of talking about how mules went kind of like crazy or whatever. Or, just kind of out for themselves. Addicted to delivering cargo. But it's not like the mules are trying to deliver the cargo to the destinations, right? It's more like they just want to hoard the cargo for themselves. I don't know. There's some weird shit there. Hey, you know what? There's Bloom. You know what? I'm just gonna read some of these. Damn it, Sam, a porter and doom sufferer who was once a member of Bridges. Sam's doom's ability allow him to sense the presence of BTs, but it is his ability to repatriate that makes him particularly noteworthy. Repatriates such as Sam cannot die. Even when caught in void outs, they always return to the world of the living. Sam crossed North America from east to west with his baby Lou for company and connected the entire continent to the chiral network. He also saved Amelie, who had been abducted by terrorists, with help from Fragile and his Bridges colleagues. Sam took on and defeated a number of BTs as well as his nemesis Higgs. After establishing the UCA, Sam left Bridges without informing anyone. He is now considered a fugitive, and as such, he and Lou have taken living a reclusive life close to the Mexican border. Bridge babies, or BBs, are BT sensors that were developed by Bridges. So, bridge babies are beached things sensors that were developed by Bridges. Unborn human babies that are removed from their brain-dead mothers after several months gestation. After 7 months gestation. How is there so many brain-dead mothers at 7 months gestation? That's what I want to know. Was this something that was done on purpose? Because that's what it sounds like to me. Because there's enough bridge babies that I feel like there's something more to this whole brain dead mother thing than meets the eye. I mean, you don't. It's not like they're being mass produced, as far as I can tell. But it does seem like there's, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong about how many there are. They are placed in pods, which recreate the conditions of the womb. There, they are connected to the beach and are able to detect BTs. Connecting an umbilical cable to a BB's pod allows it to share what it has sensed with its human user. Bridges considered BBs to be pieces of fieldware, each BB has therefore been assigned a serial number in the format BB-XX. This designation is intended to prevent users from becoming excessively emotionally attached to their BBs. I mean, you could say, because there's, like, what? Lose BB-28, right? And since it's just like an XX, I don't see, like, there's not a BB-325 or something like that, like, it does seem like it's a somewhat low number, but maybe something is causing mothers to go brain dead, or, after they start. I don't know. I'm a little bit confused about that brain dead mother thing. Like, how is that happening? Lou, a bridge baby with the serial number BB-28. When Sam first encountered BB-28, the unit had been deemed surplus to requirements and earmarked for disposal. But the two formed a bond, and Sam took the BB with him as he crossed the North American continent. At some point along the way, he stopped calling the unit by its serial number and started using the name Lou instead. After the UCA was established, Lou was declared non-operational and was once again condemned to incineration. With Deadman's help, however, Sam faked Lou's disposal and removed the bridge baby from its pod. Ordinary babies cannot live outside their pod, but by some miracle, Lou survived and started to develop like a normal newborn baby. The pair went into hiding in a reclusive bunker on the Mexican border while the UCA searched for them. I'm hoping that we get more information on this. Somehow Lou survived, because Sam, you can almost say, as a repatriate, like, he almost couldn't die. And one thing I want to know is, was Sam the original BB-28? And who is Lou, damn it? That's what I want to know. Where did Lou come from? Is he special? Fragile. I don't really want to read hers, but I will. We read everything else. We might as well fucking read Fragile. Fragile is a high-level Doom sufferer with the ability to jump, allowing her to use the beach. She said she can't jump anymore. Allowing her to use the beach to transport people. It should have been like, where she used to be able to jump or something like that. Carry on. Fragile is a high-level Doom sufferer with the ability to jump, allowing her to use the beach to transport people, objects, and herself across great distances instantaneously. She is currently suffering from jump shock, however, and is unable to use this power. Okay, so maybe it's something like she'll get over after a time. Fragile was once the leader of Fragile Express, a private delivery organization, but her one-time friend Higgs exploited her powers and involved her in a terrorist plot to destroy an entire city using a nuclear weapon. Higgs also tortured Fragile, subjecting her body from the neck down to Timeflaw. Fragile approached Sam to get revenge, but cooperated in his mission to traverse the continent and establish the UCA. After Fragile Express was disbanded, Fragile set up a new organization, Drawbridge. And I mean, the Odor deck, I mean, we kind of know what the damn Odor deck does from the first one. Same thing with the Chiral Printer. Actually, I feel like I kind of want to read that. High performance 3D printer. I don't want to read that anymore. Yeah, I do. High performance 3D printers that make use of chiral networks' cutting edge data processing capabilities. A chiral printer can remotely output a great variety of objects provided that you have the necessary resources and are connected to the chiral network. Medicine and living organisms cannot be printed, however, nor can one-of-a-kind objects of great personal significance. That's kind of what I was curious about, is if they advance it enough to be able to do the medicine and living organisms thing. I guess not. Fabricating weapons is simple with a chiral printer and has made it all too easy for anyone to acquire large quantities of arms and explosives. As such, there is concern that the prevalence of chiral printers has led to an increase in the numbers of armed groups in a general escalation of conflict. Well, probably. Ring terminal reread. Dooms. I think we'll read that. A strange condition first identified around the time of the Death Stranding. Dooms imbues sufferers with a range of abnormal powers. Although the exact nature of the condition differs from person to person, one symptom common to all Doom sufferers is a strong connection with the beach and the world of the dead. Coming into contact with things related to the dead, such as BTs and pyralium, causes Doom sufferers to develop goosebumps like skin marks, a condition known as chiral rash. You know, it's interesting to me that not all Doom sufferers are also repatriates, because their connection to the beach would almost make it seem like it would be something common to all Doom's sufferers. Whatever. Chiral Network Gateway. I'm curious about this. The Chiral Network, which was used to connect the UCA and now provides the infrastructure that supports all of society, is a complete and closed network. Chiral Network services are only available within the network and therefore only within the UCA. Chiral Network services are only available within the network and therefore only in the UCA. Complete closed network. To expand the chiral network south into the former Mexico and beyond, the chiral network gateway must be installed in Ciudad Nudo del Norte, C1, the connection point between Mexico and the UCA. The chiral network gateway will also act as a limiter that will gradually increase the amount of data transferred from the UCA, ensuring that the network remains stable as it is expanded. Consequently, Mexico will not immediately enjoy all the same network features and services as the UCA. The ability to build structures and fabricate weapons will depend on the status of the network on the Mexican side. Interesting. Porter suit. Maser gun, a firearm that charges and unleashes an electrical blast. It can be carried in a holster. The handgun makes use of the maser magnetically accelerated stroke of electric reverberation. That's what maser stands for. That's interesting. I did not know that. I've heard of like a maser before, and I think that it's like an unlimited ammo type of weapon. I could be wrong. Magnetically accelerated stroke of electric reverberation. Kind of sounds like something you wouldn't need ammo rounds for, but I could be wrong. Effect generated by the interaction between chiral and magnetic fields to unleash a powerful electric shock. That even more so makes it sound. And hold on. The handgun makes use of the maser effect generated by the interaction between chiral and magnetic fields. I mean, it sounds like it's an unlimited ammo. Each shot takes a moment to charge, giving it a relatively slow rate of fire, but its powerful blasts inflict significant non-lethal damage to human targets and can even temporarily immobilize vehicles. The Maser handgun makes no noise when fired, allowing enemies to be silently neutralized. I'll probably be using that more than anything. The assault rifle, a fully automatic weapon effective at any range, it is equipped with a light and can be switched between semi and fully automatic modes. It is highly versatile and can be loaded with 2 different types of ammunition to suit the situation. Be sure to check what kind of ammunition you have loaded before pulling the trigger. There are several different models of assault rifles in circulation, all available in a range of colors. Okay, so it does have different ammo types. I'm not really too fucking concerned about any of this stuff. Am I? Oh, APASA. I'm APAS 4000. I am curious about that. The automated porter assistance system. Right. So it's just the bots. Officially titled APAS 4000, but commonly referred to simply as APAS, was originally developed as a support program for porters making deliveries within the Chiral network, but the network's capacity to instantly transfer massive volumes of data meant that APAS developed rapidly and was, before long, managing and operating deliveries all on its own. As deliveries became entirely automated, bridges withdrew from the delivery business, and private organizations such as Fragile Express disbanded. Porters are still required to make deliveries outside the Chiral network, however, which is why Fragile set up Drawbridge. Thanks to the Chiral network's use of the beach, where time barely passes, APAS has become more than just a delivery system. It is now involved in all areas of life, from child rearing to healthcare. Okay. The beach, a place that exists between the world and the other side, between the world of the living and the world of the dead. It is connected to the consciousness of every human and is thought to exist exclusively to those born from humans. And is thought to exist exclusively to... Okay. The beach exists in many different forms. There are beaches which exist on a higher plane to individual beaches shared by people who have died at the same time, beaches used for chiral network data transmission. All of them differ in nature to ordinary spaces and locations. Time passes dramatically slower on the beach. A single second in the real world can last anywhere from several days to several years on the beach. That's interesting. Drawbridge, a private delivery organization recently established by Fragile, since APAS has taken over deliveries within the Chiral network. Human porters are no longer required outside the network. However, they remain as essential as ever, leaving Drawbridge to conduct deliveries beyond the borders of the UCA. So isn't Fragile coming here to have me run around and connect the network? Isn't that going to put her out of another job? Bridges' first expedition. Organizations. I don't think I need to read those. Porter suit, major, yeah, okay. Jump, ooh, gatequakes, that's what I'm interested in. Earthquake-like phenomena that are triggered when matter passes through the plate gate. Unlike ordinary earthquakes, the strength of the shaking does not always correspond to distance from the epicenter, which could be considered... What? Unlike the strength of the shaking does not always correspond to the distance from the epicenter, which could be considered the plate gate itself. The strongest shaking often takes place elsewhere at a seemingly random location. I bet that it's not as random as they think it is. The seismic waves appear to be strongly influenced by the tar currents. In extreme cases, localized shaking affecting only a 100-meter radius has been observed. Gatequakes can also cause abnormal reverberations within the tar currents. This is believed to be the reason why strong quakes have occasionally been observed in areas that are very distant from the plate gate. Strong quakes. Jump shot. I think gatequakes is going to be a pretty interesting phenomena going through this game. Jump shock, a syndrome caused by performing repeated jumps to the beach. While it is clear that the syndrome is brought about by the accumulated strain that multiple jumps place on the body, the exact causes are unknown and no treatment has yet been developed. It is still possible to perform jumps while suffering from the syndrome, but doing so puts one's life at risk. Gotcha. Void out. A huge explosion that is triggered when a BT makes contact with a living... I think I read that. This stranding first occurred, the phenomenon known as... Did I read that? Where did I read this? The effect is similar to the concept of annihilation. What? Hold on. A huge explosion that is triggered when a BT makes contact with a living human. The effect is similar to the concept of annihilation in particle physics. The effect is similar to the concept of annihilation in particle physics as enormous amounts of energy is released, wiping out almost all matter. Whiteouts often leave huge craters in their wake. When the Death Stranding first occurred, the phenomena now known as voidouts were believed to be explosions caused by nuclear weapons, a misunderstanding which caused mass dread and chaos. The absence of radioactive material and the discovery of chiralium made it clear that the explosions were connected to BTs and the mass extinction events that had taken place in the past. The Death Stranding, a phenomenon in which the dead cross over from their world and are stranded in ours, becoming known as BTs or beach things. When BTs come into contact with a living person, a large explosion occurs known as a void out. This releases a huge amount of destructive energy akin to when matter comes into contact with antimatter. Simultaneous. What? Known as a void out, this releases a huge amount of destructive energy akin to when matter comes into contact with antimatter. Is that real? Simultaneous void outs across the world led to the downfall of civilization and have put humanity on the brink of extinction. The previous Big Five mass extinctions have caused enormous damage to life on Earth and are no longer thought to have been caused by meteor impacts or climate change, but rather the phenomenon known as the Death Stranding. I wanted to read something up here again. What was it? Beach. I think it had something to do with this. Higher planes. Phenomenon known. Dead cross. Was it BTs I wanted to read again? Corpses, Cryptobio. Creatures that first appeared following the Death Stranding. They take their name from the process of cryptobiosis, in which an organism suspends its metabolism and effectively enters a state of provisional death to survive a harsh environment. The word comes from the Greek for a secret mode of life. Tardigrades and sleeping chronomids have been known to enter cryptobiotic states. These new organisms are also capable of living on the beach or in the sea. They were never given a formal scientific name. Cryptobio is now the term that is used in all contexts. They are very much an acquired taste, but are known to boost blood levels when consumed. The skin color of a cryptobio will change depending on its habitat. Oh. Well, now that I've read damn near everything in here. Switching camera, sprinting, jump distance. The distance Sam can jump depends on the speed at which he's moving. It's possible to perform a double jump if you're traveling over a certain speed, allowing even more distance to be covered. You won't be able to jump very far if you are carrying a heavy load, and doing so will severely drain your stamina. Huh. Underdeck scanner, compass modes, balancing instead of shooting. Press the options button to open your ring terminal, then select system/options and control sensitivity for keeping your balance to adjust the extent of which firing is prioritized over keeping balance. Higher value will prioritize keeping balance, a lower value will prioritize. That might be something we end up fucking around with. Adjusting camera behavior when aiming. Select camera settings option, adjust speed and acceleration of the camera when aiming. Blood and consciousness gauges, replenishing blood levels, restoring stamina. Hold right on the weapon tool menu, use canteen. Okay, yeah. Filling your canteen, tools, field wear, photo mode, endurance. Oh, I was gonna. Cryo crystals are made of a mysterious substance that becomes buoyant when assembled in bulk. Every 1,000 cg of chiral crystals that Sam carries will reduce his load by 1 kilogram? What? Are made of mysterious substance that becomes buoyant when assembled in bulk. That's actually fucking cool. I don't know if that was a thing in the first one, but if it was, I wish I knew that. Oh, I was gonna. That actually was what I wanted to read, was chiralium. Chiral crystals. Chiral crystals began to appear after the Death Stranding, and are known for growing in distinctive golden clusters. Shaped like hands, when these clusters are tightly gripped, they crumble into chiral particles, which can be collected using a special device. Chiral crystals possess properties unlike any other substance found on Earth, and are used as fuel, raw materials, in the construction of buildings and items, and to reduce the weight of objects. Having originated in the world of the dead, chiral crystals are most commonly found in areas of high chiral density, such as BT areas. Chiral radiation produced by the crystals means that They can only be collected by doom sufferers, such as Sam. Large quantities of chiral crystals can often be found wherever a BT is defeated. So really, it's like the more we carry, the fucking better. Because if every 1,000 takes a kilogram of weight off, that sounds fucking great. Give me 1,000,000 of them. Oh, I was gonna read the strand too. An essential tool for porters, Sam's blood is woven into its fibers as a means of ID verification. Strands can be used to secure cargo that won't fit in your backpack while keeping it in place even during unexpected impacts. Strands can also be used to bind enemies and to parry melee attacks. Bind enemies and parry melee attacks is the only thing I think that was actually used for in the last one. I don't feel like it was ever used to secure cargo that won't fit in your backpack. That sounds cool though. Climbing anchor ladder, 10 meters. This rope is 30 meters. This bottle is filled with an energy drink that will restore Sam's stamina. It is refilled using timefall or river water, which is then filtered and mixed with stimulant compounds. The canteen is designed in such a way that its contents will not freeze even in sub-zero temperatures. That's cool. Oh, I'm still looking at stuff. I'm sorry. This stuff is. I understand this might be boring watching me fucking read this shit. But some of this shit is interesting to me. Where were we here? Carol Crystal. Sam stats. Sam stats will increase when you reach specific milestones, such as carrying cargo over a certain distance or eliminating a set number of enemies. Sam's abilities will improve as his stats increase. You can view Sam's stats via the ring terminal. Social strand service? Using the SSS, you can view messages sent by people all over the world, look back on the likes you've given to and received from porters in other worlds, and enjoy the screenshots you've captured in photo mode. Only screenshots taken by pressing X in photo mode can be viewed. Bridge links. This is something we didn't really fuck around with, but the bridge link tap in the SSS menu allows you to view various play statistics and look back on the likes you've given and received to other porters. From a strand contract, which is what I'm talking about, with those you form a strand contract with those you have more dealings with to deepen your bond and increase your connection level. Arranging cargo, carrying my hand, checking terrain, making use of compass, stabilizing cargo, stepping. Press X while centering your balance. My nose is bugging the fuck out of me right now. Hold on. It's like so clogged up I can barely freaking talk. Press X when centering your balance to take a single careful step. Stepping in this manner allows you to move without losing your balance and minimizes the effects of rough terrain. Doing so drains both your stamina and endurance gauge, however, the heavier your load, the smaller your steps will be. Each step will also drain more stamina. L2 plus X is left step, R2 plus X is right step. R2 plus L2 plus X is step backwards, and forward plus L2 and R2 plus X is step forward. Okay. See, usually I'm holding like L2 and R2 to kind of stabilize myself, and then, I guess I'm not pressing X while I do that. Unless it's like you're going through certain terrain, basically. I don't know if this is saying that. Okay, hold on. Stepping in this manner allows you to move without losing your balance and minimizes the effects of rough terrain. Okay, so yeah, it's kind of a rough terrain thing. Sliding. Press R1 while sprinting to start sliding. Sam will adopt a crouched position, making it a great way to diving quickly into cover. Sliding directly into an enemy may well knock them out. While sliding down a slope, your momentum will carry you forward. Though sliding allows you to get around quickly, it puts a lot of strain on your boots. Keep an eye on them and make sure you don't wear them out. That's actually good to know. Taking a break. Sure. Whatever. Holding. Damn it. Taking a break. Hold square to sit down in your current location. Take a rest. Your stamina will gradually be restored while resting. Massaging your shoulders will restore your stamina more quickly. You can also choose to go to sleep. Sleeping will restore your blood levels and will cause time to pass. Isn't time passing already? Or maybe you could just, maybe, because maybe you don't need to rest at a shelter? Resting on flat, stable ground will allow you to sit down properly. If you choose to rest where the ground is unstable, you will only kneel and can only take a breather. You cannot massage your shoulders or sleep while taking a breather, and stamina will restore more slowly. There are certain situations where you can't rest, such as when there are enemies nearby or when you are in a river. Okay. If your cargo is stolen, if Sam is taken out inside an enemy base, your cargo you are carrying will be stolen, and the cargo will be placed on a mule post box on the base, indicated by a runaway stickman with a bag on his back icon. To find this post box, press L1 to activate the cargo scanner. If your boots break, walking around without boots will eventually damage your feet. And if you have spare boots on hand, be sure to put them on without delay. Sandalwood can be used as a substitute for boots in a pinch. So it's good to see the sandalweeds here still. Impassable rivers, illuminating dark places. Use the older deck's light to see when you are going, where you are going. Use the right stick to choose direction to point the light. Hold left to open the field wear menu. Select the older deck light, then press X to switch on or off. You can also use left to switch the light on and off. Okay. Combat techniques and weapon handling. Quickly equipping and unequipping. Yeah, okay, so I knew that one. Quickly equipping weapons in your hand. If you are using L2 hold or R2 hold to carry a weapon or item in cargo form, it can be quickly equipped by pressing right on the D-pads. Doing so will also remove tools and weapons from your tool rack or holster in order to make space for your new piece of equipment. Quickly discarding weapons. Hold L2, press down. Popping out and firing from cover. When in cover, press and hold L2 to aim your weapon and lean out of cover for a more accurate shot. Stop aiming to return to your original position. Dodging while aiming. Hold L2, tap X to evade. Use the left stick to choose a direction in which Use the left stick to choose a direction in which to perform the maneuver. Performing this maneuver drains your endurance gauge. Be sure to keep an eye on where you'll end up as well. Unarmed combat. Press circle to throw a punch. Punching is simple and fast, but can be blocked by enemies. Neutralizing an enemy by punching can take quite some time. and repeatedly punching will drain your stamina. Jump attacks. Jump attacks are difficult to land accurately, but are capable of breaking the enemy's block. With enough momentum behind them, they are even capable of knocking enemies out. Jump attack will drain both your stamina and endurance and cannot be performed if your endurance level is too low. How do you jump? Tackles. Attack while pressing L2 and R2. Well, holding L2 and R2 to center your balance, and you'll perform a powerful attack. Tackles allow you to attack while moving forward and can also break an enemy's block. You are particularly effective at breaking through enemy lines if you are surrounded. Huh. Tackles will drain both your stamina and endurance and cannot be performed if your endurance level is too low. Using melee weapons, such as a rod, is equipped. When a melee weapon such as a rod is equipped, press circle to strike a blow. Holding L2 to aim will also block enemy melee attacks. Can you use like random objects to like attack with? Is that what that's saying? Swinging through your cargo, I fucking love doing that. When you're if you know, you know. When you're carrying cargo in your hand, press circle to swing it. Makeshift weapon, release R2. Okay, yeah. Depending on which hand you're carrying it. Blocking enemies attack. Centering your balance with holding L2 and R2 when under attack by an enemy allows you to block their blows, reducing any damage taken. Blocking with both hands is even more effective, further reducing the amount of damage taken. Blocking immediately before an enemy attacks will lands allow you to parry the blow, meaning you can take no damage whatsoever. Oh shit, there's parries. Successfully blocking a blow allows you to perform a counterattack by pressing circle. These are powerful attacks that can break an enemy's block. Be aware that blocking will not work against certain powerful attacks or attacks performed with lethal weapons. I'm not gonna remember half this shit. Dodging blows. Hold L2 and R2 and X when an enemy is nearby to perform evasive actions in the direction of your left stick. If you time this to coincide with an enemy attack, you can dodge the blow without taking any damage. You may even get a chance to counter. Should you end up behind the enemy. Hold L2 and X and R2 and X. Right step. Oh, that sounds so. The fucking combat sounds like it's so much better in this. Doing so allows you to. I feel like I just want to fucking box somebody. I hope that they have like a training ground where you can just fucking box people, because this sounds like it'd be cool. And then like have like different difficulty levels. That would be sweet. I'd be surprised they actually have that, but you know. Doing so can also allow you to dodge enemy attacks. Dodging will drain your. They need like a fight club. Dodging will drain your endurance gauge. As such, it's important to decide ahead of time whether you intend to take on an enemy or avoid them. Parrying attacks with the strand. Sharing information using signs. If you abandon your cargo, it just goes away, right? If you move too far away from your cargo, it will be distributed to other porters, either to be entrusted for delivery or to do with as they see fit. This also applies to cargo loaded onto vehicles, but does not apply to cargo stored in a private locker. Strong winds, the effect of night. When night falls, visibility becomes very poor, and great care must be taken not to lose your footing. Enemies are similarly effective, making nighttime well suited for covert operations. That sounds cool. We get to deal with daytime and nighttime cycles in this. This sounds better. I'm liking this. Just reading the menu. Anyway, I gotta stop this video. I'm running out of time. In the next video, I'm sure we'll get to actually doing something. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Catch you on the next one. Peace out.